Welcome to I Have the Universe. I'm the host of this podcast, Michael Haspin, and we're going to be talking about subterranean fiction. Okay, so the reason we are going to be talking about subterranean fiction is because it is a more better way of explaining the hollow earth involved in films and stuff like that. And let me introduce you guys to hollow earth. But it's a theory that there is either a lost civilization underground or a futuristic alien civilization underground that civilizations in various folklore have discussed in their lore and stuff like that, and it's often placed with Graham Hancock type of pseudoscience, which is saddening because I think people should take everything seriously and stuff like that. There's many names for this. There's Agahartha, Advatabar. There's many different names that they Middle Earth too. That's what they call stuff like that. And so let me introduce you guys to the Hollow Earth first, what I kind of just did, but I just want to make it more clear before we get into subterranean fiction, which will be involving that with other topics, and I'll end up doing a film analysis video of subterranean fiction on my YouTube channel, but get this content early for the patrons and stuff like that. But I'll be doing a way more in-depth stuff like that, but this is me just reading off information, talking, giving off my thoughts. So natives of the Trobriand Islands believe their ancestors came from a subterranean land. They're a cavern hole called Obukla. You know what I'm saying? So many different tribes and many different lores, sword and sorcery, fantasy and shit like that. That's where that comes from and stuff like that. So let's go into subterranean fiction. So start off with the film section, because that's what you guys would know about more. Let's stay away from Verne's stuff. I'll only touch on a little bit. But THX 1138 is an American science fiction film set in a dystopian future where the populace lives underground and is controlled through android police officers and mandatory use of drugs that suppress emotion. That's a George Lucas film and stuff like that. And Godzilla vs. Megalodon involves Cetopians and stuff like that. Now Godzilla, that universe, really goes in depth with it. We might as well get into the Monsterverse. So with the Monsterverse, which is it's a cinematic universe with films such as Kong Skull Island, Godzilla King of the Monsters, and its fourth installment, which is what the Hollow Earth was very, very much involved in, and that honestly started my interest with this. Is Godzilla vs. Kong, which is the fourth film in that universe. But anyways, the Hollow Earth is a huge plot element of a majority of the films. Way more prevalent later down the line, because the first film had more so dealing with atomic radiation lore and connecting that to a majority of a big amount of the old nuclear testing. That was what the first film was about. The Godzilla one from 2014, that was way more about islands in Japan. But then in the Skull Island one, then Skull Island itself is a top and entryway to the Hollow Earth, and it's responsible for that Hollow Earth is basically a population of giant monsters and plant animal hybrids. You know what I mean? Like that's what Skull Island is the entryway. There's many different entrances in that universe, which I just love analyzing the way cinema uses conspiracy theories and pseudoscience to mix that into their films, make shit more grand, because truth stranger than fiction, or theorized truth in this scenario. But and in King of the Monsters, there is it's the way that they get around the world faster, the monsters, is they use shortcuts to move faster around, the planet. That's what the monsters do and stuff like that. And that's just fascinating to me. But I would want to know, like, is there any other planets involved with this? But we'll figure that out.